The cosmos was silent, but only in appearance. Across the void, the patrol ships of the Zarati Dominion glinted like shards of obsidian under distant starlight, their sleek forms darting with predatory precision. Below, on the once-forgotten colony of Erythra Prime, the planet's atmosphere shimmered with a muted aurora, an unassuming haven that was about to erupt into chaos. Alina Mercer had never thought she'd be at the center of interstellar conflict. Barefoot, dirt-streaked, and trembling with both fear and awe, she ducked behind a massive redstone boulder, watching as a squad of armored warriors strode across the plains. Their armor shimmered in shades of violet and emerald, each symbol etched in alien hieroglyphs that seemed to pulse with life. "Human, she's not supposed to be here," hissed a deep, metallic voice from the edge of the hill. A pair of Zarati scouts crouched behind the crags, their bioluminescent eyes reflecting Alina's own wide-eyed shock. "I didn't ask to be here," she muttered to herself, her voice swallowed by the alien winds. The truth was, Alina had been abducted weeks ago, whisked away from Earth during a rare, stellar alignment that the galaxy's intelligence networks had been monitoring. She was human, but far from ordinary. Something inside her, some dormant gene or cosmic resonance, made her the key to technologies and powers that even the most advanced civilizations could only dream of. The first clash. The Zarati were not alone. From the shadow of the planet's jagged mountains, another faction emerged, the Karathi Blades, a tribe of mercenary warriors known across dozens of systems for their lethal skill and insatiable hunger for conquest. Their armor was obsidian black, edged with crimson plasma lines, and their weapons crackled with energy like a storm contained in metal. "By the ancients, she's alive," growled a Karathi commander, his mandibles clicking with a sound that made Alina shiver. The human, the one the prophecies spoke of. Alina's heart pounded. Prophecies? Humans weren't supposed to have prophecies in interstellar war chronicles. She was just a normal girl, or so she thought. The two factions spotted each other simultaneously. The air above Erythra Prime's crimson plains lit up as plasma bolts hissed and streaked across the horizon. The clash was instantaneous. Zarati soldiers leapt into the air, their gravity-defying boots kicking up dust, while Karathi blades descended from hovering skimmers, slicing through the sky like dark meteors. Alina screamed and ducked lower. A pulse of energy passed through the ground, lifting her off her feet for a brief second. Her mind screamed, her instincts, but more than fear, she felt a strange power rising from within her chest. Awakening. The world blurred around her. Colors swirled. She felt the pulse again, this time stronger, and instinctively raised her hands. Energy surged outward in a wave, sending both Zarati and Karathi combatants skidding and tumbling backward. The alien warriors froze, shock rippling through their ranks. "Impossible," hissed Commander T. Charwax of the Zarati. "She's activating the resonance." That's not supposed to happen." "Contain her," the Karathi commander roared. "She is the key to the Shard of Eternity. If she awakens fully, we lose control over the entire quadrant." Alina's heart raced, but clarity emerged amidst chaos. She understood, somehow, that her emotions were linked to the power. Fear made it erratic, anger made it lethal, but calm focus made it precise. She stood, and her eyes glowed faintly silver. The air hummed. The two armies hesitated, measuring the human girl who had become more than human in an instant. The negotiation. Hours passed. Neither side dared approach directly. Instead, emissaries floated down, their armored forms gleaming in the red light. Alina was sat cross-legged on a ridge, hair whipping in alien winds, and the air around her shimmered faintly. You are human," the Zarati commander said finally, his voice now quieter, almost reverent. Yet you wield the resonance. The galaxy has waited centuries for one such as you. And you are the Karathi, Alina replied carefully, measuring the strange cadence of their guttural speech. I don't know what any of this means. I didn't ask to be part of your wars. You do not understand your destiny, said the Karathi commander. His mandibles clicked softly, an unsettling sound. You are the shard bearer. Your existence tips the balance of all civilizations. Whoever controls you, controls the future. Alina swallowed hard. Power, destiny, wars she had never imagined. The weight pressed down on her chest. But she refused to tremble. Then you will have to fight me for it, she said. The emissaries recoiled, taken aback. Humans were weak, fragile. Yet she radiated authority that belied her appearance. Even the seasoned alien warriors understood that this girl was no ordinary human. The alliance that wasn't. For a brief moment, an uneasy truce formed. The Zarati and Karathi realized that attempting to take her by force risked annihilation. They began to negotiate terms while keeping weapons trained on her. Alina listened, piecing together fragments of information. The resonance she carried could be used to activate an ancient weapon, the Shard of Eternity, a device buried deep beneath Erythra Prime's crust. Whoever activated it would gain control over planetary systems across hundreds of light years. Her stomach churned. Weapons of mass power, alien prophecies, interstellar politics, she had come for a vacation. Or, at least, a quiet existence somewhere far from human civilization. Stop talking, she said sharply. You are going to destroy yourselves before you even reach the shard. I won't let it happen. The alien commander stared. Was she threatening them?
No. She was warning them.
And that somehow was more terrifying. The descent. Despite the tense truce, hostilities resumed. Alina led the way, guided by instinct. The ground cracked as she passed, and energy bursts formed protective barriers. The two armies followed reluctantly, respecting her growing control. Beneath the surface of Erythra Prime, the ancient weapon lay dormant in a massive subterranean chamber. The walls were etched with symbols of civilizations long dead, constellations carved into stone, and glyphs that depicted humans standing among stars as gods and warriors alike. Alina realized that her species had been underestimated across the galaxy. Humans, small and seemingly insignificant, were never meant to remain behind planets and moons. They were catalysts for cosmic change. As they reached the central chamber, the air thickened. Energy pulsed from the Shard of Eternity itself. Both the Zarati and Karathi positioned themselves around her, weapons raised, waiting for her choice.
The choice.
Alina's mind raced. The resonance surged inside her, syncing with the shard. She could feel the temptation, endless power, the ability to command, to bend the galaxy to her will. But she remembered Earth, her friends, her quiet life before cosmic conflict intruded. Her decision crystallized in an instant. If she took the shard, she would become a tyrant, or a target worse than any tyrant. If she destroyed it, she could prevent bloodshed across 1,000 systems. Closing her eyes, she channeled all her power into the shard. Light exploded in a brilliant, blinding cascade, tearing through the chamber and into the core of the planet. The resonance flared violently, energy rippling through the planet's crust and shaking both armies to their knees. When the light faded, the shard was no more. The chamber lay in ruin, but the energy had not been wasted. It had imbued Alina with a latent, protective aura. She was no longer just human. She was a guardian of potential, a living bridge between civilizations. Aftermath. The Zarati and Karathi stared at each other, shock giving way to grudging respect. Neither side could claim victory. The girl had won, not through might, but through wisdom and restraint. She is remarkable, THRX murmured. A human, and yet a beacon. Alina looked at them both. I'm not a weapon, she said. I'm a human. Remember that. Slowly, the alien armies withdrew. The war had been averted for now. Erythra Prime returned to its quiet, crimson plains, and Alina felt the weight of destiny ease, but only slightly. She had glimpsed the galaxy's vastness, the power lurking in the stars, and the truth that humans were more than anyone had imagined. And though she returned to Earth eventually, barefoot and weary, she carried with her a secret, that somewhere in the cosmos, civilizations would speak in whispers of the human girl who refused to be a pawn and change the course of history.